All right, brother. My brother, Elijah. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother. All right. All right. Thank you, Creator, for letting me be here. Thank you, Creator, for letting me be here for another day to try to do what I believe you put in my soul to do what is right, to seek your face, to see if I can say something to brethren. Hey, Fritz. All right, brother. Good to see you. So thank you, Creator, for showing me what I think is really the most important thing by far in this reality. Thank you for showing me more and more while we are here what's really important and the blessing that is ahead for my brethren who are like minded spiritually. I just wanted to give thanks for the opportunity to redeem the time to store up and to really share the blessings that you offer to anyone who is willing to draw near to you, the incredible promises that you have for us, the incredible opportunity to try to serve one another, to try to say something that might light a spark in somebody and make them want to be more proactive in redeeming the time and storing up and so that we can enter our next reality in the highest possible position, in the highest possible blessing. So thank you, Creator. Pray that you anoint me with the things that I'm going to say and the brethren who come on and speak. And I pray that you bless the whole thing and that you will just give us the greatest amount of overstanding that'll bless our souls. So let it be. All right, I'm here. My name is Yaquab Ban Yisrael, and I'm going to do something different today. You see what I got on the screen there? I think I'm sharing it. Let me make sure I'm sharing it. I'm going to start scrolling different things when I'm doing the monologue so that I might bless brethren, try to find something to bless brethren with every single time that I have the opportunity. So today, for some reason, I came across this site right here, and it's talking about the signs and the different strengths and the abilities that they have. And I love to share stuff. You know me, I love to share stuff like this because anything that I can share with a brother or sister that will encourage them or help them to know themselves, I'm all for it. If I can get it to the point where I want to start it, I'm all for it. I believe that the Creator in His kingdom, in the Creator's kingdom, He wants us to serve one another. And in the Creator's kingdom, if you get the big picture, man, it's like He wants us to take your abilities and apply it to somebody, and to help somebody. If I just want to slow this down just a little bit more. You got to really. There you go. Okay, that might be good enough. So I'm going to scroll different things when I'm doing the monologue for my video in an effort to try to bless brethren with information that I come across. And so here today, I decided to go through the signs because we all come under this information. And I think it's a blessing when you read. You might not subscribe to it. That's okay. It's cool. There are a lot of people who, we've been taught in Christianity to anything that's esoteric is evil, it's demonic. And you know what? I'm going to show this book right here. Oh, I'm not even sharing the screen. See, already I'm starting off wrong. I'm not even sharing the screen. So let me share the screen. And, I got to do something else here. Hold on. Let's see. Am I sharing? Oh, okay. Yeah, I am. Let's see. Get this off of there. All right. There it is. I'm going to share this information for my video today because it has to do with each one of us. And I love passing on information that will help us to know ourselves better, what our strengths, what our weaknesses are, so that you can turn around and you can share it with somebody else. You could, in other words, like what I'm doing here is I'm trying to show how each of us are gifted one way or the other. Each of us are gifted one way or the other. Even in the Bible, it says that when what does it say? It's something like when Christ ascended, He gave gifts to men or something like that. And one of the things that He's given us is He's given us our zodiac, our vibration. We're all under a particular vibration for the purpose of now you can turn around and serve your brother. See, you can know where they're coming from. You can know how to better minister to them. So if if that type of thing doesn't resonate with you, then it's probably not the channel for you. It's probably not the channel. Hey, Snap, how you doing, sister? Yes, good to see you. Good to see ya. And if you type of brother or sister, who you don't like the good word of the light and how, basically, I just say the same thing over and over again. I read the OAHSPE, and it may sound redundant to you time after time, but I love it, man. I just love. I can't. I get sometimes afraid of the OAHSPE that it's going to run out of its ability to bless my soul. And I should say, I said that about the Nag Hammadi. I said that about Pistis Sophia. It's like I'm always selling the Creator short, man. I'm always selling the Creator short. I wish I wouldn't do that. But it's like, It's like, let's see, my mic's going to fall off here. Okay, that might work. Let's see. I don't know. This thing is, you know, got to find out how to get this thing working right. I think that's good enough. Let me see. Do that. Bring it down a little bit. Bring it closer a little bit. Okay, I think that's it right there. So, if you're the type of brother or sister that you 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 know you don't like hearing the good word of the Creator, if you just can't get with it, you know, this is not a channel for you. Um, it's only for certain brethren who are under that vibration of being able to hear the Creator, who want to seek Him in spirit and truth. This is only this channel is really only for brethren like you. You basically you're under that type of vibration where you need to be around what the Creator is doing and how He's working and dealing with you, and you have this ability to be able to believe on His word. It has a special effect on you. This channel really is meant to deal with brethren such as yourself. We're a very minority type of people. I mean, you look in this creation, the reality, and everybody's in their corner, so to speak, meaning they're operating under whatever their vibration is, whatever they resonate with. And in this day and age, the Creator is revealing the fact that He's raising up a different group of people. They're called faithists, among other things, spiritualists. He's given us His word to help us to get back on track. A lot of us were under deity worship, idolatry, and that's one of the big things on my channel that I try to expose with all my heart, man, is get out. If you hear anything coming out of this channel, man, just don't get involved with deity idolatry worship, because you will go into slavery. You will go into slavery to a false god, and he will work you. All right, Fritz. That's funny, Fritz. I thought you was a Leo. Asenath, she a Leo. Leo. You cannot dislike a Leo. You can't. They will piss you off sometimes because they'll take the choicest food out of the refrigerator thinking it's for them when it was for somebody else. you know, but you cannot dislike them at all. Okay, I'm a Libra too. I never really got into it that deep though. I mean, it's just like I've seen the creators giving me a gift to look at. I just have that vibration on me. I don't know how that works, but you know, I look at the zodiac and I can see the creator, and I just think it's beautiful, man. It's a terrible shame that a lot of brethren, they work on their lower vibration. Elijah 7, that's the Aquarius. You know, we'll see where are we at here. What, Scorpio? Elijah's is like that's one of my favorite signs, man. 'Cause they're like space cadets, Aquarius. Sometimes, look what the image is going to be for Aquarius. It's going to be mathematical equations. See, there are some zodiac signs that are fitted for, they're more external, and then there are other zodiac signs that are fitted more internally. Oh, okay, Life Path 7, you know that stuff? pretty cool, man. I never really could, I think I'm like a life path 9, I think. I don't really know the difference between those life paths. I looked at it one time or maybe two times, and I, um, I, it didn't resonate with me, but it's still cool though, you know. Oh, okay. Your son is you. Your son is you. Like when you were born, where the position of the sun was. Yeah, I get that. But I think I love it personally. I just, this mic is slipping on me. It's going to end up falling while I'm doing the video. Okay. So anything that has to do with building up, brethren. Yeah, there you go, Fritz. Your moon is your inner self. Thank you for telling me that, bro. I went and ordered my birth certificate from Ohio, and they didn't have the time of my birth. So I'm sunk, man. My parents are gone. You know, all I got is my dear brother. His birthday is tomorrow, or is it, or Saturday? Cancer. So now I'm sunk, man. I don't know what time of day. I think you got to have the time of your birth so that they can chart the position of the planets, and then that'll give you your, your rising sign, your uh, uh, I forget the other names. Yeah, it is. It's so see, the signs have to do with your vibration. Your body is just your body. The the demons created the bodies. The Elohim, they created the body. The Elohim, yeah, you're ascendant. You got that as part of your chart. But the zodiac, see, look at Aquarius, is showing you what they're all about. See, look at that math, fractions. You ask Aquarius, what is it? You ask Aquarius, what's the weather like tomorrow? And they're going to say, if you take the A over the B in trigonometry, and then you add Saturn to the fourth element of the elements chart. you know, they have that type of they have they have that type of stigma on them. They're the brainiacs of the zodiac. I mean, you ask me, everybody's beautiful, man. That's why I like to talk about it a lot. I think that the creator, see, let me show you a book I'm reading. Let me hold this up. See if y'all can check it out when you get time. Let me see if you can see it. Let me turn the light on. So, see if that'll help. I got this book here that I'm reading. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Gods of the Bible. I'm trying to make it. It's called Gods of the Bible by Mauro Biglino. Mauro Biglino. Gods of the Bible. And I'm going to go down that path now. I'm going to start going down that path where I'm going to do a lot of reading from extra OAHSPE sources and not be so afraid of things that other people have written. I'm going to expand in that way for the purpose of sharing with brethren. The greater you can be used, man, you're home free. You are home free, man. The greater that you can be used of the creator to share information, to bless brethren, man, that's the objective right there. That is your objective right there. I didn't see something that Fritz posted. He said, your rising is what people see outside of parents. Thanks, brother. Thank you for sharing that information with me. Because I think that, I haven't really gone not that detailed in zodiac. It just seems like they have more of a natural gift. I was saying that there are some signs they have an outward focus, meaning they are more um, geared to, how do I say, outward works, more um, serving it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like selfless. And there are vibrations, zodiac, that seem to be more about self. You know what I mean? There are signs that seem to be geared towards service, and there are those that seem to be geared towards the inner self. And it's all it's all for the working of this reality. Really, no one's any better than any other. But I see the creator in it. And if you look at the big picture, you're looking at the kingdom of God. It's just going to be people with different abilities working on their highest vibration. And when you learn of the vibrations, the zodiac, it'll also give you a defense against brethren who are working on their lower vibration. You can put up a defense against that stuff, meaning you can protect yourself from people who they working on their lower vibration, so that you can learn not to let it trigger you. You can defend yourself that way, because we in a situation, you read the OAHSPE, where we dealing with people who are under the vibration of false gods. That's what that book I was showing you, where to really, really help you, man. It'll really help you to see the big picture in a clearer of, well, I can't speak for everybody. I count that a lot of you, brethren, you way, way advanced in your understanding. I picture myself as somebody who's just trying to come up. But as you keep reading like OAHSPE, and you compare that with your spirituality and what you have seen in the beast kingdom, it's basically a story of false gods wanting to rule over man, and their attempt to stop us from getting back to the creator. Basically, we were hijacked. We were given an earth. We were made what's that word that I heard that sister say? And that was like years ago. She got an overstanding in Genesis. She decoded it, and she found where it said the false gods basically say, I will make man in, what is that word? It's like the false god said, I will make man, oh, please let me remember that, because I want to share it. She was able to go decode part of the Bible where it says, the false gods say something like, I will make man a degenerate servant or something like that. I can't think of it right now. Those were not the exact words. Indentured servants, or it said, that's something that, I mean, in other words, they basically say that they will make man demoralized servants. Demoralized servants. That's the agenda of the false god. Basically, they know that they got kicked out of heaven. If you read is it the Book of Mormon or something like that? There's a book that they wrote that tells you, I forget what the name of that book is, where it gives you the account of the fall of I mean, I'm sure it does it in, other books too, maybe the Book of Enoch, but they basically were cast out. And the big picture of everything that spirituality is all about is they were cast out, and then they went seeking kingdoms of their own. And so they came to the earth. They made a man after their image. And that's where you have what we have today. Because I was reading in this book, The Gods of the Bible, and it is super interesting, man. Super, super interesting. The way he shares that it's like the fallen God. Hey, Nazarene, brother. Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you. So basically, the big picture is like you have the false gods. They fell. They wanted a kingdom of their own. They created a paradise. They created a man. They put him in the garden. It was basically like, just serve me. Just serve me. You know, I don't want you to know that I fell from heaven and I can't get back. And I know what it's like up there. I know the power and the glory from where we fell. I want that again. I made you. I want you to serve me. Don't ask no questions. Don't try to be smart by eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Just eat of the tree of life and just stay dumb all the time that you're on the earth. And just serve me here. I'm going to put you in a paradise. Then just shut up. Just do what I tell you to do. Whatever you do, don't eat of that tree of knowledge of good and evil, all right? Now you just stay right there, leave that tree alone, you know, and just serve me. Here, I'll make your food for you. I'll make life easy for you. You just do as I say. So basically, I'm just trying to give the big picture. Oh, here's my room. I have a food ministry. I like to try to deal with orphans and elderly, disabled. And you know they're out there. They probably have food insecurity. Somebody may know somebody like that. I'm here to let you know that I won't run for somebody that needs that type of charity. I certainly won't run, man. Here's the information. You can contact me. And then I got a room on Facebook where I like to try to find things to share with brethren that might interest them, might bless them in their reading. There's information there for the Bible study that they have every Wednesday. We had a pretty good talk this last Wednesday. It was pretty cool, man. The brother talked about there was a law that was passed and it was going to put more power in the hands of the president to become a tyrant, really. You know, it's just like how the false gods work, man. You know, this bill that was passed or this law that was passed is where they're going to try to centralize power, give, you know, the centralization of power to take yours away, your rights, your your laws that were geared to protect you is this new law that was passed, where it helps to centralize more power in the hands of the president and to take yours away, really. And it sounds just like the false gods. Just like the false gods, man, where they know that your kingdom is slipping away. The truth is getting out. The spirit. And what I learned something about the spirit. The way we use spirit, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. It should be something like the inclination that all of us are under. The false gods, the fallen, the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, they know that their time is up because this information is getting out ever since the cosmic era began and spirituality began to grow. People asking questions, wanting to know this, wanting to know that. And then you read the OAHSPE and say that when that time comes, man, and he was describing the cosmic era, where we are right now, he was going to put away the old tradition of things, worshiping of false gods and deities and idolatry. Creator said, I'm going to put it away and I'm going to give them the real smoke. I'm going to give them the libraries of heaven. And that's what we're doing right now. We reading. We drawing. He's done given us the libraries of heaven, mainly with the OAHSPE here, as far as I can tell. Not to say there aren't other things. There's all kinds of people coming out with spirituality, coming out with knowledge, man. And that's the signal to the false gods that our time is up. And so the false gods, it seemed like they're saying, well, we're going to go out with a bang if that's the way it's got to be. But we're going to take our people, our subjects, we're going to centralize power. We're going to restrict the freedom of the people of the world until the manifest until I don't know how to let me see what's a good way of saying until their kingdom comes to a conclusion, because that's the big picture right there. And now we know, brethren are waking up now. We know we're in a situation. People are expanding in their spirituality. There's a collective cry for wisdom and righteousness that's going out in the world today. And the Creator, it's like He says, I hear my children. My children are asking for me. They sick. They tired of the bondage. They tired of the corruption that's in the world. They tired of the imbalance that's in the world. And there's an old saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, man. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So getting back to what I was saying, the big picture, and I'm sure I trust that you, brethren, that you already know that the fallen, they can't get back. They cannot get back into the position that they had before because of the fall of Sophia. Ever since then, it's been a line of false gods, Nephilim, Anunnaki. Everything is all about their attempt to hold on to power. And it's primarily through the beast kingdom, through religion. That's how you deceive. That's the greatest deception. So this book I got, I'm going to be sharing a lot from that. And I think the Creator is starting me on the path of book reading. Because till now, I never really could trust anybody. If somebody was going to tell me anything, man, you was going to have to get close to the Creator. You was going to have to, before it used to be God. But in order for, previous to learning about the OAHSPE, I had to stay close to what I knew in my heart, what I felt in my heart was the Heavenly Father. And that meant the Bible or some other anointed work. I didn't want to hear about nobody's experiences. I didn't want to hear about no dreams. I didn't want to hear about no visions. I didn't want none of that stuff because in my heart, I knew that people are capable of doing that stuff, talking about things that they can't prove, that, in other words, you don't know what vibration, you don't know what vibration people are under. And I did know enough to know when I was under the Bible, when I started to do spirituality, I did realize that there were some powers that were at work and that there are people who believed them and that they could share information with people who subscribe to them and give them power over mortals, over people. It's like I naturally knew that, but I didn't really pay any attention to it. But now I see that it's a great gift that the Creator had given me, and I was in ignorance for a long time to it. I didn't really respect it. I didn't really cherish it. It's like I knew a lot of things that I just took for granted. I thought everybody knows everybody knows about the fall. Everybody knows that they have power. Everybody knows that they can give people. Everybody knows that. That's what I used to think. But now, at this day, this age and this day and age, it's like I knew it, but I didn't believe it. And then at this stage of my life, I see it now. I have seen it. There are brethren, and they speak about esoteric things, and they don't believe in the Creator. They do not believe. They can't hear Him. They don't know Him. They not. It's like they ain't speaking to, like you'll hear them talk, right? And then you'll get to a point you say, hey, you know what? He don't even believe in the Creator. He got all this knowledge. Yeah, thanks, Ace Nath. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts, hearken not to the words of, yeah, sister. Thank you. That's very good. Very good. See, I love it. See, but see, just like the sister here, we got people on our side, see, who can combat the wicked. See, we got people on our faithists. We got people on our side now. See, that's our strength. They pulling us out of deception. See there? They got gifts. They can do science. They can do math. See there? They can do esoteric. They can do inspiration. They can do it any old kind of way you want. Our people, our team, our brethren, our faithists. See, they got gifts too now. See? And what I'm talking about, primarily, they can pull us out of deception. Because the Creator, He said the time has come. See, let's look at that verse here, what the sister got. Let's look at that. Let's check it out. Jeremiah 23:16, right? Jeremiah 23:16. Let's read it. See, now we can read with understanding now. You see what the Creator is doing for us. Check this out. We ain't subject to nobody else's interpretation no more. See there? Jeremiah 23:16, right? See, we know the difference now between the Creator and false gods. He made them give themselves away. He made them use words that give themselves away. Here, see here? Thus saith the Lord of hosts, all right? Hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, not out of the mouth of the Lord. Now, see, let's go ahead and look at it. Because we don't think to ask questions like, well, who are you talking about, man? When you say others and lords, and who are you talking about? See, they counted on gaslighting us. Now, the word Lord used here is Jehovah. Now, that's Jehovah. And another thing, too, that I learned, let me go down here and see what the other word for Lord is. So here it's using like Jehovah, right? Now, there's two definitions. There's the sister was sharing with us Jehovah with ending in IH and Jehovah AH, righteousness, and I forget what the other term. What's the other term? Asnath. It's Jehovah is righteousness, and Jehovah is I think he said judgment. I'm not sure, but anyway, reading this here, looking at this, now it uses Jehovah. It uses Jehovah. See right here, Jehovah. Do you know what that word really is? It's Yahweh. Do you know this word here? When they speak it, it's Yahweh. You know what Yahweh is? It's the Elohim. You know what the Elohim are? That's the multiplicity of gods. Those are the fallen. Those are the fallen. Yeah, thanks, Ace and F. Yeah. Do you brother know that? I'm shocked at the blue letter. But see, you can't. Oh, I'm not even sharing the screen, man. Ain't that something? This is what I was sharing right here. Jeremiah 23:16. We breaking it down. You see this word here? They used it? Jehovah. Do you know that word is Yahweh? That's Yahweh. That's the multiplicity of God. See, the prophets, we look at them as holy, untouchable, but they were deceived. Matter of fact, even Jeremiah says, matter of fact, let's look at this. I'm gonna come back to this, right? Check this out. Check this out. I know y'all seen this before. Behold, I was deceived, you have deceived me. Now I'm gonna just use any old version. King James, whatever. I'm just go to whatever I feel. You know, I ain't gonna trip on the versions anymore. Because it don't matter what you read, you can always break it down. Now check this out. He says, make the lettering smaller. Even Jeremiah, he knows that at some point he learns that, hey, what vibration was I under when I said that? You deceived me. And he's talked to the Elohim. He said, you have deceived me, Lord, and I was deceived. Now, what I want to do here is look at the translation. I want to look at the translation of that. So let's look at the translation. Let me see. Jeremiah 27. Let's look at the translation real quick of that. Let's see what the word is that he used. Now, my whole point in going round and round like this is to show you that the fallen, they take advantage of the fact that they hide behind wording and they let that play a Jedi mind trick on us, because then we start thinking we know what they mean. See, it uses the same word here. See, oh Lord, you see, look at that. Thou hast deceived me. Thou hast deceived me. Now, here's a word here. Let's see what that word means. He's using a word for, it's for thou hast deceived me, and it ain't going to point to, well, let's see what that word means. Let's just look at it real quick. To be spacious, open, and be wide. Okay, so it's kind of in nondescript, meaning it's not like exact. It's kind of open type of. But here we have Jehovah again. Jeremiah is saying, "You, Jehovah, you deceived me." Now, one thing we know to say is that in the Creator, there is all light and there ain't no darkness whatsoever. He don't operate like this. It's plain and simple. Now, that's something you can just say right off the bat. Now, Yehovah, see, that's really the Tetragrammaton. Did you know that? Now, it's the right name. See, the Blue Letter Bible, this is where they could really trip you up, man. They could really trip you up. This is the tetragram, Hebrew tetragram right here. And it's using the name Yehovah. That right there. That's the tetragram. That's Yahweh. See? The Hebrew Israelites, you know how they say, oh, shoot, did I lose? I don't think you can even see the screen. I got something on my screen saying, Yikwa, they can't see the screen. Hold on one second. I got to. Oh, okay. Okay, I think there we go. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so Jehovah, you see it? Can you see it on the screen here? I hope you can see it, right? That's the tetragram right there. Yahweh. Now let's go back to the other. Let me see. Let me click off on these real quick. Make some room. Okay, now where's the other link I had? Okay, right here. We were looking at this. Jehovah, right? Jehovah. Oh man, we put these two together so I can. Okay, my point is this: Yahweh, and I'm looking at the lettering here. Yahweh, see that right there? It's Jehovah, and then this one is like the same thing. This is like the same thing right here. I'm on a different screen now. Or no, it's the same. Yeah, it is the same thing. Jehovah, Yehovah. They spell it a little different here. They put a W at the end there. See that? But both of these words, do you know they're talking about Yahweh? Yahweh is plural. It means many gods. That means that's why he says, you deceived me. He's saying to Yahweh, you have deceived me. And I was deceived. Look here, see? Oh Lord, thou hast deceived me. So when you go to read, you'll read some things where you'll get a correct picture of Jehovah, of Jehovah, and you'll get a contrary meaning. In other words, the deception is in the, how can I say this? Let me do it by sharing a story. In the FBI, one of the ways they tell the real from the fake is that they're constantly giving the real dollar bills. They're constantly giving the real dollar bills. They're never giving fakes. So when people pass dirty money, they know right off the bat, man. They know right off the bat that you got a problem. Same way for us. There are many ways that we get deceived when we read the Bible. See, let's look at this again. He said, thou hast deceived me. And I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and thou hast prevailed. So actually, the correct rendering of this should be the Elohim. It should be the Elohim. I know what you're saying. Now look at Yahweh, man. You know, he's good. So he's going to correct so little Yahweh Israel is going to correct a theologian, college trained, been to university. He got 8 degrees. So I'm supposed to believe Yahweh, right? And I would be to say, I wouldn't believe me, you know. But if you have the ability to if you could even just, if you can just think a little bit, man. See, that's why I like to say when you know the character of the creator, then that will expose a lot of deception. Now, here again, one more time, he says, oh, thou hast deceived me. And if I just stop right there and said, the creator is all light, he's no darkness. Yes, it's like he's saying in the room. Then I know we got a problem. Something is wrong. Who's deceiving Jeremiah now is what becomes the question. It gave the right name. It said Jehovah. You know, isn't that his name according to the OAHSPE? Yeah. Then how can it be a lie? We hanging on the fact that he says he's been deceived. That's not the agenda of the creator. Now let's go back to what the sister, what she gave us. She gave us Isaiah or Jeremiah 23:16, which is this. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts. Now we looked at the Lord of hosts, and that uses Jehovah. That's Yahweh. That's a false God right there. That is a false God. He talked about the same God that deceived him. He's saying He's quoting the God that deceived him. He says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts." I forget what that name host means too. I think it's the host that means the world's people. The world's people. It says, "Hearken not unto the words of the prophets." See, it's like the agenda of the Yahweh or the Elohim. It's like let's use uh, let's use. Oh, hi, Daniel. Hi. I don't know who you are. Never seen you before. I hope you come in peace. We talking about the OAHSPE Bible. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Oh, you know what? Um, Let me put the link in the room in case you I invite brethren to come in and to come on the channel, and if you want to talk, here's the link right here. And if you want to have a conversation, I try to encourage that on this channel. I'm not saying I know everything, you know. I believe I can learn from everybody. And so I like to really make the channel about. I try to encourage brethren to click on the link and come on the room. Now, if nobody wants to, I'll go into the reading in a few minutes here of the OAHSPE. But if not, if someone wants to come on and have a dialogue about anything, then please feel free. Feel free. I use brethren to learn off of them. And as long as it's something encouraging, as long as it's something that glorifies the Creator, then this channel is really yours. It's not mine. But I do require brethren to respect one another and speak with the proper decorum and deference to one another, and to be civil with your words. So anyway, welcome, brother. I hope that I can say something that'll bless you. Now, Jeremiah 23:16. Now, the whole point I'm making to anybody that's listening, he's speaking to a false god right here. You know that? See, we never knew this before. We never knew this before. Now you say, well, what word do he need to use to know that he's speaking to the Creator? Even the theologians, man, they don't know the difference between the Creator and the false gods. Even reading this book right here, let me see if you can see it on the screen. Reading this, it's an amazing book by I've seen the video of this brother that wrote this book. You see his library in the background. He's got 1 billion books in the background. He know what he's talking about. He don't know the difference between the Creator and God. I find that absolutely, you know what I mean? Although it ain't nothing for the Creator to deceive a man. I mean, matter of fact, even in Corinthians, it say he used the basis of men. Do y'all remember that verse? This verse? Where God uses the lowest of men, the basest of men to confound the wise, King James Version. 1 Corinthians, look at that. So it shouldn't be a surprise to you. See here? But God had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Okay, Daniel, welcome then, brother. I hope you join us. If you want, you can take the mic and introduce yourself, or if you don't see what we're talking about, feel free. Just feel free, whatever you do, okay? So see here, look at that. You see the plan? Now, I want to go here and look at the word he uses for God. So I can't do too much of this jumping around, man. That's where I start messing things up. See, let's try it this time. 1 Corinthians 1:27. Let's see what word he's using for, let me see. Let's see what word he's using for God. See, What we can see the Creator is letting us know how we've been deceived. He's letting us know how we've been deceived. Now, what's the verse that we're looking for? 1 Corinthians 1:27. Okay. 1 Corinthians 1, verse 27. Now let's see what word he's using. See here it says, but God has chosen a fool. Let's see what word he's using for God. Okay, so he's right there. But God and Paul, who was an agent, see, that's the beauty, man, of the Creator. He makes, what does it say in Psalm? He makes, I'm getting a lot of downloads, man. I'm gonna lose my place. He makes the tongue of the wicked fall upon himself. Verse 64. That's exactly what we see happening here. Look at the matter of fact, let's look at this in the blue letter Bible. Let's see what word he uses. Let's read this first. It says, this is talking about the Creator. He will turn their own tongues against them. I bet you that he is referring to the Old Testament. I bet you that's referring to well, it could be referring to a false god, but we know that ultimately the Creator who creates gods has power over the god. So, but I'd still like to see who they attribute that saying to, whether it's Elion or whether it would be Elohim. Because if it's Elohim, we know that we got a problem here. So let's look at that real quick. I'm going to lose my place, man. And plus, it's time for the reading. See there? I need more time. I need more time, man. Psalm 64:8. So let's look at Psalm 64:8. Let's see what term has been used there for God. Psalm 64:8. And all I'm trying to do is just point out the deception of the Elohim, which are the many gods, as opposed to when the Creator is being talked about. Now let's go to tools here. Psalm 64:8 right there, right? Or well, here is 64:7, but that's cool. It's cool. Let's see who they're using for God here. See there? Elohim. That word should not be. See, let's look at it again. That's wrong. Okay, wait a minute. That's the wrong. It says, okay, for that verse is cool. Okay. That verse, okay, we looked at verse 7. It says, but God here. Now that translation is Elohim. That's false God. So you could read this to stay like, but gods who are not the Creator shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly they shall be wounded. But now here is the verse I'm meant to look at. Oh, no, wait a minute. They answer it right there. We don't need to translate it. Look at that. It's like the translation should be, so the wicked are going to fall over their own tongue. You could even use the word Elohim here. So the Elohim, they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. How do you like that? That's why we read in, where is that? Where's the verse I had? Where we were looking at, but God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And I went to this because we read in where Paul, or no, what? Now see, damn, I lost my thought, man. Okay, we went over that where he says, Jeremiah says, I was deceived. But what was my point after that? He said, I was deceived. And then I went to how God, it shouldn't be, it should not, show the screen. It shouldn't amaze us that God, he can use lowly people, such as myself. And he says he can do it to confound the wise. See, he can use a lowly brother. Did we not read where I think even the false gods use, in Numbers or Deuteronomy where Balaam spoke to a donkey? Somebody opened a donkey's mouth. Ultimately, it's the creator who gives power to be able to do that. So we shouldn't be confounded to see that creator. He can give anybody wisdom. He just so happens here to say, I'm going to make you fall over your own words. So now let's go back to what the sister gave us, the post she gave us in Jeremiah. It says, we got somebody else in the room. Bob Smith. He says, hi, Bob. Never seen you before, but welcome to the room. This is a room where we proclaim the OAHSPE Bible, OAHSPE. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but as long as you come in peace, you're welcome. As long as you come in peace and you're not here to cause strife, please, man, you're welcome to the room. Let's see what he says. He says, Jesus said the temple won't stand. Not future. Herod's temple went down in 70 AD. Jesus gave it back to God. God gave Jesus a new name we haven't known for 1,953 years. God only after 70 AD till now. And then you say Satan was destroyed when the temple and altar was turned to chalkstone. Again, Herod's temple. And better get to building, never going to happen. Need a temple for Jesus and Satan. It said Christianity was only for one generation, 40 years, like Peter told them. You're a chosen generation, not generations. Already happened long ago. God is judging. I don't really follow you. Do you go by the name Don the E-Man or E-Man the Don or something like that? Bob Smith. Have you gone by another name before and come in this room? Okay, I can't really. If you want to come on, click on the link and we can have a dialogue. I kind of want to try to stay. I have a tendency to get off topic. And I don't know if you're just coming with an agenda and not really here to listen. It don't seem like it. So I can't really, I don't want to, I can't really deal with you. Maybe somebody else in the room. If you tell me you want to come on and have a dialogue, just click on the link up there and, we can have a discussion if you want. But, I'm already late for the reading and I have a tendency not to remain focused. I got to repent of that. So here in Jeremiah 23:16, it says, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of their mouth. And so the word that he uses here is pretty interesting. The word that he uses is really interesting because he says Jehovah. See there? Jehovah. Brethren, that's the Hebrew tetragrammaton. Do you know that that's talking about Yahweh? That's talking about Yahweh. That is not talking about Elion. See? So now we can go all through the Bible. If I wanted to, I could click on this word right here and we can see how. But you have to look at the character, the context too, because what the Bible does is sometimes they'll use And we know that one of Jehovah's names is Jehovah and Jehovah and the All High and the Most High even and Ahura and Majesty. There are other names, and it's talking about the Creator. And so the way it's set up, you have to have like a go-to translator. Oh, I didn't share the screen. Shoot. And that's when you begin to look at the character. We can say, okay, well, what type of character is the verse talking about? And we can see the glory of the Creator to deceive people who say they know. And he's sharing these things with us now in the cosmic era. How he is lifting the skirts of the deception we've been under. See, if you learn only one thing, man, if you learn only one thing, let me see now. The inclination is telling me to, I probably should remove Bob if he don't want to come in and talk. I think he just wants to spam us. Any one of you brethren who are an admin, if you decide to remove him, you're able to. If you brethren perceive that he's not really coming in the spirit of peace and unity, if you're an admin, you can remove him. I can't keep trying to go back and forth with this guy. So I'll let any one of you brethren decide what you want to do with him. So anyway, my whole point of what I'm saying here is that sometimes the name won't give away who's speaking. And then you have to go to another proof or another, what would you call it, way to determine if it's a false God speaking. And that's by looking at their character, the character of the verse here, or any verse. And here again, we read what the sister posted. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not to the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Lord." Now let's look at that second use of the word Lord. It's talking about Jehovah again, Yahweh. So basically, this is Yahweh, Tetragrammaton, Yahweh, YHWH, and Yahweh are the same, and they are Elohim is the same as Yahweh. That means a multiplicity of gods. That means false gods. So this verse right here basically is saying, just only listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. And that's the character of the false gods. There are many false fallen gods, even in our reality today. And it explains why you see, basically in our day, you see Christians fighting with Muslims. Basically, that's what's going on in Israel mainly with Gaza, Palestinians, and Hezbollah. It's really Muslims battling with the God of Christianity. The beast kingdom is fighting with itself. I got to go to the reading. I'm late. I don't want to. I really want to do the reading because it's on the book of TAE, and you just gotta love TAE, man, because he talks. He's like us talking to the Creator, wanting to know why things are the way they are. The book of TAE. So I named the video "TAE is Us" because this is like the Creator would say, my people talking to me. My people asking me questions about why things are the way they are. That's why I hope that you brethren get a kick out of this. I know you read it. You brethren already know it. But the OAHSPE is such, man, that you can't stop. You always click on the link. You can always get a blessing out of this. Let me share the tab. There we go. So may the Creator bless the reading of His word. Let me go ahead and close my blinds because I can't see the screen. So I can cut off the glare. Hold on 1 second. Okay, got it. All right. May the Creator bless the reading of His Word. And remember, if anybody, anytime you want to come on the channel, just click on the link. It don't have to be particularly about what I'm reading, but I would like it to be about spirituality, some type of thing, or something you read in OAHSPE or whatever. So may the Creator bless the reading of His words. It's called TAE's Prayer, and it's really a picture of all of us. A picture of faiths. It's like this is a type of dialogue we would have if we could speak to the Creator in a carnal type of way. So verse 1, it says, Jehovah, the Creator said, I blow my breath upon the planet, and man comes forth, inquiring, who am I? And what is my destiny? Verse 2, so I send an elder brother of man to teach him and show him the light. God said, behold me, O man, I am an elder brother. I have passed through death and found the glory of the unseen worlds. Jehovah gave to me, your God, dominion over the earth and her heavens. So you read this and you're thinking, the fallen gods, they imitated something that they saw before. They can only imitate. They can't create anything. So when you go like the Bible and you read the account of how they say, like they say that let us make man in our own image, and then they put him in a garden eastward in Eden, then you can see that they copied from the place they have fallen from. So they knew enough. They created a man out of the dust. The Creator blew life into him. And then the Elohim, the false gods, they put him in a paradise. Yeah, man had it good for a while. And then there's stipulation. The Elohim gave man a stipulation. He says, okay, if you want to eat of the tree of life, that's cool. That's cool. You can do that all you want. Just stay away from that tree of knowledge of good and evil. Don't go near, don't mess with that. Just leave it alone. Right? Now I'm going to paraphrase. Because if you eat of it, then you're going to know that we fell and we want a people of our own that we want to rule over, and we're going to get exposed. So don't eat of that. Now that's just my interpretation. But then Eve, and they paint the serpent as something evil. And what the serpent did was righteous. It told Eve the truth. Because remember the false gods, they were saying that if you eat of it, you're going to die. They ate of it, they didn't die. So right there, right off the bat, man, we know that the Elohim, that they were lying. And Adam and Eve, the Adamites, they caught on to it. And so that's when the Elohim, they knew their ship was sunk. They knew it was sunk because evolution was going to meaning evolution of the knowledge that Adam and Eve had. It was going to catch up with the false gods. So from that time till now, their mindset was, man, we got to do something to control them because they're going to overrun us now. And they had power. Yeah, so originally man was in a garden under the Elohim. He was actually chilling in a garden under the Elohim because they wanted a people of their own. They fell from their place in heaven, came down here, and wanted a piece of they wanted a people for their own. That's the whole story right there. Okay. Let me see. Tay says, who is Tay? Tay is a collective of faithists, brethren. Daniel. That means that this book here that I'm reading from, it's like the Creator is giving us a book that it would like describe what a conversation between the Creator and his children are like. Okay. Oh, thanks, Hasaneth. Yeah. All right. Verse 6. It says, and in the stirring up of man, so Okay, let me see, Bob. I think I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see if you're with this or against this, because I don't want brethren going against the lesson. It's divisive, and if you're a distraction, I don't want that. I want brethren to be able to pay attention to what I'm trying to share. So I'm going back up, trying to read, you know. I want brethren to be able to be not be distracted. you know. So right now I'm leaning towards removing you. God will destroy this fraud. Jesus won't be witness simply for the fact that you're not really commenting on the lesson and you distracting my brethren. So, let's see. Yeah, I gotta let you go, bro. Let me see. Delete comment. Put user in timeout. Ban the user and their deletes. Let me see. How about if I put him on timeout? Yeah. All right. So he's on timeout now. So I want the message be to go out without any distraction. So the brother's on timeout, man. You know. Now, verse 6, it says, in the stirring up of man's soul, Jehovah spoke through his sons and daughters. His voice came up out of the marsh and down from the heavens above. And the children of men heard and saw and rose up because of the spirit in them. Now, see, he talking to us. He telling us what we are like. He says, they responded to him, who is the Almighty? And their voices were called TAE. See, talking to us, Baptists, brethren who are coming into, who are able to subscribe to the OAHSPE. It says, who is Almighty? And their voices were called TAE. Because as it is the universal word of all children born. It's the universal word of all children born. Oh, I thought I put him on time up. Now I got to just go ahead and ban him and delete his comments. He was able to get in. I'm sorry I had to ban him. I don't like to ban anybody. I don't like that. But I don't want any distractions. I'd like to try to have us be not distracted when this type of message, when the word of the creator is going out. So I'm sorry, brethren, I had to ban him. I put him on timeout. I guess that's only for like a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. All right. So anyway, I'm sorry about that, brethren. Verse 7. It says, TAE said, reveal, O Father, give me light. I see the wide earth, the sun, moon, and stars, but the great vault of heaven appears to be just an empty sky. Where's the dwelling place of the dead and the place of the souls of men? Verse 8, in times past, you have quickened seers and prophets, and through them lifted up your children and proclaimed other worlds. Am I less worthy than those of the past ages? All the while, my forefathers, and now I have abided by your mighty presence. By your hand, by your own hand, you have quickened my consciousness to be dissatisfied with the old revelations. See, that's where we are right now, you brethren. The Creator, He allowed us to come up under deities and idolatry and worship. And then in the Cosmic era, He's telling us now, the times of our ignorance, He winked at it. Remember, I love to show that verse. The times of our ignorance, God winked at. The times of our ignorance God winked at, but now commandeth men everywhere to repent. So now we know what the meaning of this verse means. And it's even the context of what he's talking about here, whoever wrote this. Verse 30, and the times of this ignorance, it's talking about temple and idolatry worship, really. And the times of this ignorance God winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent. Because he has, oh, I hate this link, man. Y'all. Because he has appointed a day in which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man. Now, see, there we got a problem. By that man, you got to remember Paul, man. It's amazing the truth that, I mean, if that's who wrote this. He says he will judge he will judge the world in righteousness by that man. It should be by the creator. Or actually, I'm thinking of that verse where it says we shall judge angels. You brethren remember that verse? I think that might be true. He says, because he has appointed a day in which he will judge the world in righteousness. I would have to say that if I were to translate this, that it should say something like, he will judge the world in righteousness by the faithist whom he hath ordained. The faithist. Whereof he hath given assurance unto all men, and that he hath raised. Okay, see, well, there is kind of going off again. I think I don't even want to, deal with that. But at least this part, I can certainly see it. And he talks about all men and the assurance in that he hath raised him from the dead. Now, another interesting thing we talked about. I'm not going to skip the reading. I'm going to go back to it. I'm just digressing for a second. Sister was bringing out that not everybody is human, and I'm learning that more and more by the reading of this book that I was sharing with y'all earlier in the video. I mean, because the Anunnaki, the Nephilim, and they're just pretty much the same names for one type of entity. The Elohim and the Nephilim, I think that the fallen gods that they brought about I think it would be the Anunnaki, and then after them comes the Nephilim, and then after the Nephilim comes the hybrids, and on down to our day, where they have a line of people who basically are trying to keep their kingdom going, And so Asenath was sharing with us the other day about how they require a blood sacrifice, and so that was the reason for Jesus Christ. It was like they were a law unto themselves. And while they do not get restored to the heavenly position they were in, they seem to be getting delivered from eternal damnation through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. But they do not occupy the place that they held before. These fallen beings that we read about and that we're hearing so much about in these days. I wanted to bring out that book that the Mormons wrote, and I wanted to read that, and I couldn't think of it, where it talks about the rebellion in heaven. And so these entities that we read about, basically, it goes all the way back to the fall of Sophia. And they don't just disappear into history. They go somewhere. And they are mortals. They do not go back into the position that they held before, into the third realm or whatever it's called. There are entities in the world, and they did mate with men. Whether or not they still do it, I don't know. They probably do. And they have a race of their own, and they are unable to occupy the place that they fell from. So they want to keep their kingdom going with a race of hybrids, from my best understanding. So that's what basically, even to this day, this thing is still going on. Interbreeding it's like faith is intermingling with Druges and Asu. Well, I think that's different because they're able to inherit eternal life. They're able to ascend. Nephilim, Anunnaki, these entities, they cannot ascend the way you, brethren, can. So let me try to keep going. By your own hand, you have quickened my consciousness to be dissatisfied with the old revelations and made me peer deeper into the cause of things and to desire further light from your holy place. That's where we are. That's why we're growing in our, we're our. Let me see. It's not right to say spirit, because spirit, it means something other than how we use it, what I learned. But you could translate this to say that you have quickened my consciousness to be dissatisfied with the old revelations and made me to peer deeper into the cause and place of many things and to desire further light from your holy place. Meaning the inclination that we're under to know the Creator and to know about spiritual things. In this day and age, he's put a vibration on us. We want to know these things. We want to know what happens after death. We want to know like the technicalities of these things now. That's the importance of the cosmic era, the era where we live right now. It started in 1849. And he's describing us in this verse right here. Now we want to know spiritual things. It's like we've been around the block. We've seen the earth. Oh, shoot. I didn't share the link. Got to share the link here. So you just got to love it, man. Way the Creator. He knows we want to know these things. And he's just telling us now. He says, verse 10, by your power, my manhood or womanhood, same thing, has been raised up. Only by your power and wisdom by your power, my manhood, womanhood has been raised up. Only by your power and wisdom will I be appeased. So he doesn't want to hear any myths. He don't want to hear, this is TAE speaking. I don't want to hear no myths. I don't want to hear no traditions. I don't want to hear nothing. I want you to tell me, Creator. I'm tired of men and all their books. I want to hear it from you. So here, even a footnote, it says, he will not be satisfied or brought to peace until the Creator tells him in such a way that he knows he's hearing from the Creator. Something to drink here. So you got to love it. And that's where we are right now. We don't want to hear no more fables. At least I know it's true for me. I don't want to hear no more philosophy. I don't want to hear no more great teaching. I think that's what brought me to the OAHSPE. I don't want to hear no more fantastic speakers. If I'm going to live on this earth, man, then I want to cut all the fat. All I want is the lean meat. I don't want no fat. That's basically what TAE is saying here. Verse 11, he says, when I was a child, I believed as a child because it was told to me. But now I'm grown. I desire to know who your prophets were, how they attained their gifts and wisdom of words. See, that's what we're doing now. We did that a little bit earlier. We want to know who your prophets are, how they attain their gifts, and their wisdom of words. And then verse 12, the cosmogony of you taught in ancient times was sufficient for that day. Well, let's look at what that word cosmogony means. It means the branch of science that deals with the origin of the universe, especially the solar system. Okay? Cosmogony of the universe. I didn't share the link. That's all right. It says, the cosmogony you taught in ancient times was sufficient for that day, but now I am raised up by you to receive comprehensive knowledge of the sun, the stars, of other worlds of their travel in the great firmament. Footnote for firmament is the world of space between the stars and planets. And you can even see that in this day and age with scientists and their knowledge being increased and what they are learning about the universe and sending ships into space and so that spirit is not just, this is not just pertaining to faith. That same type of spirit is in other people as well. He says in verse 13, and now I cry out to you, where is the promised heaven? Where is the proof of immortal life? By you I was quickened into life and made conscious that I am. To you I come in the majesty you made me. You, my Father. By you I was made to determine to sift all things to the bottom, meaning completely. In you I know there is capacity to encompass all my holy desires. Answer me. And let me say that again. I actually was under that spirit a couple of days ago where I demanded it. I know what that feels like. There was an issue. I even forgot what that issue was, but I just started demanding an answer to the whatever it was that was vexing me. I wanted an answer, man, and I got it. I got it almost immediately, and I shared it on video, but I forgot what it was. I love it that he says this here. He says, "Answer me." He said, "Give me of your light, O Father. When I was a child, I called to you as a child. Now I call out in the manhood, womanhood you have bestowed upon me. I will know your Lord's, God's, Savior's, your promised heaven." See, it's like, again, man, I look at the blue letter and I'm just astounded, man, at the lack of understanding that you faiths have. I look at the videos of these scholars, man, and they got all those books in the background. And they still don't know the difference between a creator and I haven't met one yet who knows the reality, the difference of the creator and a God. Some gods are righteous, some gods are wicked, fallen or wicked. And there are theologians, man, and they got all those books. And they went to university. I'm not saying that they're without profit. I'm just saying that the creator, he can keep them in darkness, man. Your academia, it don't, wow, man. In this world, we think a PhD, man, you shut your mouth before them. At least that's what I thought. I used to think you can't say nothing against them and I remember my dad, man. I remember my dad, and he said, Kurt, you got to remember that man has 3 degrees of knowledge. He has a BA, he has an MA, and he has a PhD. He said, but the Creator has 360 degrees of knowledge. And to see how the truth of that, what he said, is astounding to me. I was like a lot of people looked up to these people. They know it all. They studied all those years. You can't hide nothing from them. The Creator's saying, yes, I can. If I want to, I can. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use those who know the least. It's like he's saying, and in addition to that, I'm gonna use the lowest. People who ain't got who can't brag about nothing. I'm gonna use them, and you're gonna confound them. He says, verse 15, I have scaled the mountain, the countless corporal world, traveling in the eternal sea of space, in the eternal sea of space. Speak of your handiwork. I read that wrong. Let me read it again. He says, I have scaled the mountain, the countless corporal worlds, traveling in this eternal sea of space. Speak of your handiwork. I have perceived that all the stars in heaven would not fill the hollow of your hand, that truly your breath moves the universe. The glory of your works has inspired me with fervor to come to your mighty home. Now he's talking again. Do you know he's talking about you, brethren? He don't think that this is somebody else. He's talking to you. He's telling you what your vibration is. That's how you could sit here on a channel like this, a lowly brother, listening to this stuff, because he put us up under that vibration. He says, TAE says, speak, O Jehovah. You alone can satisfy the soaring spirit that sprang from you. Inspired. That sprang from you, inspired. Give me light, O Father. I have compassed the earth and bridged its nations with assimilative words. Now, assimilative, the footnote says, words of amity and goodwill that help bring about harmony, fellowship, peace, and unity, being welcoming and congenial. He says, my geography is finished. Oh, give me a book of heaven. I have burrowed deep in corporal knowledge and have seen the drift of all on the earth. Where is the spirit world and land of the dead? Oh, give me light. Chapter 2, TAE's prayer. Verse 1. Jehovah heard TAE's prayer and answered him, and he said, let the angels of heaven go down to the earth. My blessed son calls to me in wisdom and truth. Let me see. Daniel says, what is the difference between a creator and God? Hey, Daniel, let me let somebody in the chat answer that, and so I can keep going here. If nobody answers you, then I'll, because I'm going to end the reading, then I'm going to talk about it when I get finished. Appreciate you being here still. And then it says, my blessed son, let me read over again. It says, Jehovah heard TAE's prayer and answered him. He said, let the angels of heaven go down to the earth. My blessed son calls to me in wisdom and truth. And the angels of heaven descended to the earth. For it was in the early days of Danha, which means a time of great spiritual light. In the firmament of heaven, and the angels manifested and proved the immortal life of man. And then the footnote, it says this is the spiritualism movement, which flourished from about 1849 to 1882, being capped by the publication of OAHSPE. Well, see, present day, OAHSPE is dealing with us in the present time. And he says that, remember, I always talk about the Fox sisters, and the creator. He used them to kick off spiritualism. Remember the Fox sisters? The creator said he used them to kick off spiritualism. The Fox sisters of Rochester, New York. The Fox sisters. The Fox sisters. He used them, the creator said he used them to kick off spirituality of the present time to prepare the world for the publication of the OAHSPE Bible. He said he used them because they had this ability, if that's what you want to call it, to make the spiritual manifest. It's just like what we're reading here. The creator said, it's coming time. I'm going to prove the afterlife. I'm going to prove it. Now, I'm just I saw something that made me want to click on this. Oh, okay, Elijah, you taking off, brother? All right. Peace to you, brother. Thanks for checking in. Brother. Okay, there was something that I saw that made me want to click on this, and let's see. I can't find it. There was a sign that talked a little bit about the Fox sisters, but I can't see it now. So that's okay. But I just find it interesting that this is who the creator used to start his plan for the cosmic era. Here's this blue sign over here. It says the Fox sisters on this site, events of March 31st, 1848 begins. Sisters Maggie and Kate Maggie and Kate Fox's central role in the origin of modern spiritualism. On that site, because they were able to make different sounds with like a rapping on the table, and it sparked people's curiosity, is basically all the saying there. So I think it's interesting. The creator, he puts a face to what he's talking about in the OAHSPE Bible. It's interesting just to look at that. Pretty interesting. So anyway, let me get back real quick. That's what this footnote is talking about. This was the spiritualism movement. That was the beginning of it back then, where people's curiosity got sparked. Verse 3, it says, TAE said, yet not even half is answered, O my Father in heaven. Since you have proved the immortal life, you have stirred me to my soul's foundation. Where do these inhabitants of the unseen world come from? Where lies this heavenly footstool of your majesty? He says, if when I am dead, I shall see the places, the germ of that sight not already in me. How am I made that I see, but do not see this? Hear, but do not hear this. If I am now dead to that which is to be, will I not then be dead to what is here now? Give me light, O Father. Job said, I gave a corporal body to man so that he could learn corporal things, but I made death so that he could rise in spirit as an angel and inhabit my Ethereal worlds. And the footnote for Ethereal is worlds. Ethereal worlds are heavenly worlds existing in the highest heaven. To the corporal eye peering up in the vastness of interstellar space, it looks mostly empty. But to the spiritual eye, it is filled with innumerable worlds. Wondrous, awe-inspiring, full of beauty and joy. Intangible, not perceived, subtle. And then TAE said, you made both the seen and the unseen. Are they at war or in harmony? My corporal body is made of earth, flesh, stone, minerals, bone, water. Is the spiritual body then not made of air, oxygen, and perceptible dust? The angels you have sent have feet and legs. Why? Do they walk in the air or wade through it? They have no wings. Shorten the screen here. Make the screen shorter. Okay. So it says, the angels you have sent have feet and legs. Why? Do they walk on the air or wade through it? They have no wings. They cannot fly. They say they have not seen the illustrious angels who have long been dead. Must I also go into the spirit world simply to meet my neighbors and never salute the wise of ancient days? Give me light, O Jehovah. Verse 8, something within me makes me anticipate the light and glory of what I have not seen, but I must have it tangible and demonstrable. The pure truth. Have you not given me an inquiring spirit so that I must prove all things to my own satisfaction? How and when then, O Jehovah, shall I find growth for my own members? These are great questions, man. They're absolutely astounding. Footnote says, for example, how should he's asked for light for his spiritual senses, and it says here, such as spiritual ears, spiritual eyes, also soul discernment and judgment. The whole world wants that. Read it again. He says, have you not given me an inquiring spirit so that I must prove all things to my own satisfaction? How and when then, O Jehovah, shall I find growth for my own members, so that I can know the spiritual worlds and its inhabitants? I will not be appeased by merely seeing the spirits of the dead or by their testimony. They may call themselves God, Christ, Buddha, Brahman, Allah, Confucius, or Jesus. Yet I will not rest on them or their word. I will put forward my plea to you only, O Jehovah. I am your son, your daughter. Verse 10, you have quickened me to know things by my own knowledge, and though it is told me, thus said the Lord your God, yet will I raise my voice ever above them, and throw it through a spirit, and though a spirit says, I am your Jehovah, believe me, I will deny him. See, you gotta love it, man. This brother, he don't want he want the smoke, as they say in our reality. He want the real thing, man. He don't want nobody talking and telling him how it is, and he don't want none of that. No, he don't want no secondhand account. The brother want to know straight out of the Creator's mouth, man. You gotta love it. The whole world wants this. Verse 11, for you have quickened me to rise up above the tales of the ancients and to demand knowledge from your throne. By you, my soul is moved to this magnificence, and only your magnificence can satisfy your son or daughter. So that's why you, brethren, get the effect you do when you read the OAHSPE. It gives you puts a vibration on you, man. It is just addictive. It's addictive, man. Verse 12, it says, as to the spirits of the dead, I desire to know their dwelling places and how they live, how they travel, their manner of growth, their food and clothes, and how they spend their time, whether they labor or live idly, and above all, to what extent, and in what way their corporal lives affected their spiritual happiness in heaven. In verse 13, it says, I desire to know too how it was with the ancients. Make clear, O Jehovah, the heavens and ways of my forefathers. For I would apply your lessons wisely. The wisdom of today I would weigh against the crucible of the past. It set my star to the future well prepared. Oh, let's see. Verse 14. What then, O Father, is your judgment upon the world today? For I desire to know how to live so that tomorrow may prove an everlasting glory. Make plain the ways of heaven and earth, O my Creator. I would know your creation so that my just place in your wide universe may become known to me. Give me light, O my Father, not by word and mouth. I will have my members quickened so that I can comprehend within myself. Yeah, I'm with you, TAE, man. I am so with you. I don't want to just read. I want to experience. I want empirical, evidentiary evidence of these spiritual realities. But at the same time, I'm willing to wait because I know that information is going to come in a way that I can clearly understand it. I know, we all know, you brother know, it's just like what the Bible say. That you know the time is coming when we're going to know as we are known. That's what keeps us going. You brother know it in your heart, man. You know it in your heart that time, our questions are going to be answered, you know. And then verse 16, it says, then Jehovah the Creator spoke, saying, to all men and women, I give two senses, corporal and es, which means spirit. in the time of Cephas, which is now finished. Cephas means enforced culture. It says, I allotted time for man to mature corporal materiality, but now the time of cosmic has come, the new era. That's where we are right now, time of cosmic. That means that this is the era where the kingdom of man is going to be dissolved. But now the time of cosmic has come, the new era, and man shall mature in his spirituality. He's not going to seek the things of the earth anymore. He's going to seek the things of the spirit. It is well that you be believing toward men and angels, but it's better to develop yourself. You have desired to know the mysteries of my unseen worlds and the past histories of the earth. Behold, I will give you a new sense, which will fulfill your soul's desire, and with it you shall read the books in the libraries of heaven. See, that's what we're doing right now. And the Creator, He's put a different sense in us to where we can receive it. We see it in a way that keeps us going, man. We ain't getting off of this path because we get a vibration. We see that whoever wrote this, which is the Creator, which through a proxy of John Newbro, that this was going to plug us in, brother. He knew that this word is going to plug us in. Verse 18, in the past, have I not said all things shall be revealed? Do not think that a loud speaking messenger will come, for man would not believe. But I quicken the righteous with my own hand. And the footnote says, that is, he quickens us within ourselves. It says that is within themselves. They shall perceive the truth or gist of the matter, and thus perceive that which is accepted as true, believed to be true, merely because of tradition, guesswork, unsubstantiated testimony, manipulation of logic, or emotion. That means that in spite of all these things, we were going to be able, a faith is going to be able to get to the gist of the matter. See, it's just like the Bible say, man. The gift, the thing that we have in us, we really don't need any man to teach us. That we really don't need to. A faith is going to come home like a lost cat, man. You know, some sooner than others. So it says, in this, my light, he says, the time of preaching and believing is at an end. Man shall know by his own knowledge. Practice that which he knows. And this, my light, is being manifested in this day. And again, Joby spoke in heaven and in answer to TAE's prayer, and OAHSPE came forth, being one of the first fruits of this cosmic era. That will conclude the reading of this word. See there? See, this is a beautiful thing, man. You know, we're reading the libraries of heaven because the time has come. So we read tonight that all the answers, all the questions that a man could possibly have, man, the afterlife and power of spirituality, where does it come from, who, you know, Creator is telling us the past, present, future, everything. Man, this is just, I mean, wow, man. All right, so anyway, that'll conclude the reading of this word. I'm going to open it up now and see if anybody wants to come in. We can have a discussion about the things that we have read. So let me put the link in the room again. Again, man, I have to apologize for banning that brother. It's just, I think sometimes people, they want to come into a channel like this just to disrupt it. That's a terrible thing. That's too bad. So anyway, if there's nobody wants to, you know, no questions or comment or anything, I'm going to go ahead and close the video. So I want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity to be a light while I am in this reality. Over the weekend, there will be no videos. I'll be back Monday, Heavenly Father willing. My schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So try to make a note of it. Thank you for joining me. Pray that the Creator would continue to be in his care, that he would bless us with peace, love, light, and wisdom. And until I see you, brethren, again, peace be unto you. Shalom.